Welcome to the Beers on Me podcast. Before we get started with this episode, for those that don't know, Eddie Van Halen passed away a couple days ago, and so we just want to take a moment and remember Eddie Van Halen and the legacy that he's left. The band, everything that it's done for people. I know most of us here at Beers on Me haven't had a chance to see Van Halen live, and we really would have liked to. We've heard a lot of stories on the radio specifically about Eddie and how cool of a guy he was and how generous he was and how he was with fans. So we know that Van Halen's music will live in our playlists forever, and we hope that the legacy lives on. Rest in peace. All right, everybody, welcome to episode 4. We have some phenomenal things for you in this episode. We did put out the Moist movies, so we're going to be doing that. We're going to be doing the beer review, and we'll get to that momentarily with the Lost Coast Downtown Brown. And then we've got a little bit of concert talk for you. We're going to talk about some of our best concerts that we've been to. And then we're also going to kind of give you some funny stories of some stuff that has happened at concerts that we've attended. See if it's things that you can relate to. So we do want to get started by saying a huge thank you to the ladies over at Momxiety and Momxiety Mamas. They've got a podcast going now. They're known as Momxiety TV. They're another local artist group that's doing stuff. Facebook Live and stuff. Thanks for the shout out. We really appreciate it. And we hope we can do some work with you again in the future. So if you want to check them out, they do a bunch of good different stuff, and they're pretty much like us. So thank you so much, Jen and Kim, for that shout out. We really do appreciate it. All right. Now, the beer is on me this week. So I want to kick into the beer that we've got featured for you this episode.
Beer's on Chris. We don't even see his titties this time. Normally.
Right.
Champagne room.
Champagne.
Woohoo.
Yeah, so
no sex in the champagne room, boys.
None. So
for an extra 50.
It depends.
If you throw in some extra cash, anything goes.
Right.
Dollars
Champagne
do talk.
Champagne room.
So this episode we're bringing you the Downtown Brown by Lost Coast Brewery.
Downtown.
Out of Eureka, California. We figured we've got so many people listening across the entire nation that we're going to start just reaching out to craft breweries all over. So this one's from Lost Coast. It is a brown ale, and we'll get into the descriptions right after we pop this because we want to taste it too.
Yay.
All right, boys, crack it.
Ready?
Shit, I just spilled it all over me.
Nice.
Oh, don't bump it on.
Amateur.
Party foul.
Amateur.
So it's a 2-for episode.
I was going to say, last episode.
Beers
we had
on
party
you,
foul.
beers on you.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean,
literally.
It makes sense since we're talking about moist things, so I'm now moist.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And soon to be sticky.
All right. Let's, come on.
Get in here, big guy.
Come on.
Get in here. Yeah, put that long neck in there.
Thank you.
All right.
Yeah.
All
Try this
right.
out.
Yeah. Got a good head on it.
That is damn good.
Yeah.
That is damn good.
So
Great head is always good.
Yeah. Well,
I was having this conversation with myself about which way to go for this beer.
oh, it's one of those parties.
Right.
One
right.
of many conversations with yourself.
Right. And I was debating which way to go. Obviously, I didn't bring you any other fall special, but since we're getting into the fall time, I wanted to go with something a little darker. So it is 5% alcohol by volume. So it's one of those that you can drink a lot. I was thinking, with the sports going on the way they are, you're looking for that almost type of pub beer, but maybe you don't want to drink like that domestic style. And this would be perfect for it, right?
Yeah.
Because it's not real heavy.
Nope.
I mean, it's brown. It's not as dark as like a stout or a porter.
No, brown's kind of fallen in that nice category between super dark, heavy beers and your lighter type beers. Where, Jesus,
Let's get a little closer for you, buddy.
Yeah, okay, reach over a little. Anyway, the browns fall in that nice category. They're not like ambers,
right?
Which ambers are a little stronger
Yeah.
typically. Browns are nice and smooth. They got that nice clean finish to it. This one does.
Yeah, and it does a good job between like it's got some nutty flavors like a Dunkelweizen almost, but it's got it's malty in there too. Like I like that malt flavor.
Yep.
So it's not super hoppy.
No,
the
only,
IBUs are only running 56 or 20 IBUs.
20
so
IBUs
really
on
low
this
on hops on the flavor for this thing.
Yeah, you're gonna really taste the straight beer flavor out
Yeah.
of this one.
Yeah,
No, it's great.
and it's not overly sweet either because some of
Not
them
at
can
all.
be kind of sweet.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
definitely get a hint of the chocolate and caramel in it, though. What do you say? You say caramel or caramel? I think normal people say caramel.
It's caramel, man.
Right.
I don't. Caramel's fine.
Caramel.
Yeah, so it's something. It's a good beginning of fall kind of beer, like that
Yeah.
sports kind of. If you're gonna watch it during a sporting event, something you can drink a lot of and not get trashed.
Right. Beer Advocates gives it a 3.6
Oh,
out
nice.
of 5. 3.6, so not bad.
Yeah, I want to say
the
it.
upper
If you're looking at like Total Wine and More in their rating system, I think it was rated at like a 91.
91
Yeah.
out of 100, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
solid.
Yep.
Not bad, not a bad pool. It's one of the founding beers for Lost Coast, so it's something that they do year round, and you should be able to get it fairly easily. So
Eureka, California.
Yeah, I like it. It's a good call, Chris. Good choice.
yeah, thank you.
I'm trying to read here. Okay. Yep. Nope, that covers it. We're good. No, it's good beer. Downtown Brown by Lost Coast.
Yeah, they got some
It's
pretty
a
cool
little
artwork too.
Most people know the Lost Coast by their IPAs. Because
Yes.
that's what they first started off with, and they just blasted the market with the IPA, which is fantastic, by the way. And it's not as expensive as your other higher end IPAs.
Oh yeah,
You can get it at a pretty reasonable cost, which is, of course, what got me to it. I'm like,
oh
hey,
yeah,
here's something from out of town, and I can afford it. So
Exactly.
that's awesome. But yeah, that was great, and so it's nice to see a different offering from them that in a different style. This Downtown Brown is pretty awesome. Tastes great, nice and smooth, nice and clean.
yeah, super clean.
Perfect for how browns should be done.
Oh yeah,
They didn't do too much with it. They just made a brown the way it should be, and they knocked it out of the park with it. So
heck yeah,
Yeah. Kudos to Lost Coast.
yes.
kudos, Lost Coast.
Well done, Lost Coast.
It would have been better if you sent us free beer.
Maybe next time.
Maybe next time.
Maybe next time.
Hint, hint. Lost Coast. Lost Coast. You got a little catching up to do with the public. But Lost Coast, nonetheless.
Yeah, nonetheless,
It's great.
It's good.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right.
Great one.
So where are we going now?
What do you got there, Shiggity?
So earlier in the week, I sent out a post on the socials to take a movie title
Yeah.
and replace one word with the word moist.
Ruin
Oh,
a
yeah.
movie title with
Moist.
the word moist.
Like
Yes.
that.
Yes. And we got some pretty good responses on that. So people out there listening, make sure you check out the social media pages, see what kind of stuff we're doing. We're trying to get more interactive with everybody, so we want some feedback. And everybody knows that the internet is undefeated, so you are going to get some funny shit when you reach out to the people. So
Yep.
I figured I'd go
Give
ahead.
a little love to our listeners.
Yeah, I figured I'd go ahead and read some of the ones we got here. There's some good ones. See, Grady gave us a moist beasts and where to find them.
Oh, well done.
Well, you just come over to my house.
Who
Yeah,
doesn't? Who
I mean-
doesn't like moist beast?
Yeah, it's a little nerdy, but I like it. See, Jared gave us a what's eating moist grape.
Grapes should be moist.
Okay. I
Otherwise,
was
they're
gonna
raisins.
say. Who wants a raisin?
Oh man, the smart humor again.
Right? Hey, I'm in on it this time.
Yeah, you got it.
We got Aubrey gave us one of my personal favorites because it's one of my favorite movies. So we got Moist and Confused.
Oh, nice.
Usually those do happen
Oh,
together.
God. Well done.
Yeah.
You know you've had a good evening When you wake up moist
Moist
and
and
confused.
confused.
Yeah. We got Grady again. He kind of went on a little bit of a tangent
Did he?
here with a few. The Moist Night Rises.
Ooh,
Okay,
That
yeah.
was pretty good.
I see.
Home Alone 2, Moist in New York.
Oh,
Ooh, during winter, I get it.
and Alone.
And then my favorite of his, Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Moist.
Hey, didn't everybody learn that? I mean, didn't every guy learn that way?
Yeah, well, you were hoping secretly, right? You're like,
Yeah, you're like,
Yeah,
hey, babysitter.
I don't know what to do with it, but I'm gonna figure it out. Sure.
Yeah,
Right.
so shout out to Grady on that one. That was a good one.
Nicely done, Grady.
Let's see, we got Mike gave us a Fast Times at Moist High.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if I want to be at that high. Well, maybe.
Maybe. I mean, it'd be a high school in Washington for
Yeah.
sure.
Right? For sure. Christy gave us a Charlie and the Moist Factory.
Ooh.
Oh, nice.
I thought that's what Mouth called his bedroom most of the time, the
Hey,
Moist Factory.
You know, don't you know it?
It is.
Never let it go dry.
Right.
It is.
Sammy gave us Moist Me If You Can.
Ooh,
That was a good one.
that is a good one.
Still starring Leonardo DiCaprio, of course.
Of course. Why
As-
wouldn't it?
Right.
As everybody.
Yeah. Yeah. Jessica gave us Very Moist Things.
Mm.
Well, that came
Whoa.
out
Thanks,
a little weird,
Jessica.
but I like
Wow.
it.
We
Thanks,
appreciate
Good
that.
job,
And
Jessica.
hats off to you, Jessica.
Then we got
Show favorite, that one.
hold on, sorry. We got another Batman one here by Katrina the Moist Knight.
Oh, yeah.
That's a different kind of superhero there,
Right.
friends. And then she also gave us the Moist Redemption.
Huh. All right.
This kind of plays into your porn title.
I was gonna say.
Kind of, yeah.
I'm definitely going down that road.
Yeah, and then Christy came back with the Hunt for Moist October.
Hey, that's the month we're in.
Oh, yeah.
It works out perfect. Huh?
Hey, Christy.
Nice. Well done,
We're
Christy.
in for
Thank
a
you.
Moist October, boys.
Well, here's to
Yeah.
you and your moist October.
It's a weather forecast.
Right. Tara came through with Moist and Furious.
Ooh.
Stay away from that one.
Nice.
That's when only one finishes? Is that?
Right. Well, it's a race. Isn't
I think
it, right?
I think your hand gets really tired.
Probably.
We got another one from Sammy. It's Moist Lies Beneath.
Ooh. The moist lies.
Moist Lies Beneath. What lies
Yeah.
beneath? Was that Harrison Ford?
Harrison
movie,
Ford.
right?
Yeah.
We
Or
got
spoiler alert, he turns out to be the bad guy.
yeah.
One of the only roles where he actually turns out to be the bad guy. He's always the hero.
Right. That's true. Yeah.
So we got a different Matt, not our own Merlin, but we got Star Wars: The Phantom Moistness.
Phantom.
Oh, he played off a moistness. Nice.
Moistness.
Yeah.
Let's see. We got Sammy again with Moist Harbor.
Aren't all harbors moist? I mean,
Yeah, I mean they should be. Yeah. We got the Moist and the Furious from Grady again. Kelly
Jesus, Grady.
Kelly gave us the Moist Club.
Oh,
Wow. Preteens then, huh?
that sounds like a fun club.
Right. Actually, we got two from for the Moist Club. Katrina also said that one. Stephanie gave us Moist Candles.
Oh,
Oh, nice.
hard to light those moist candles.
Wow. Those things don't light for nothing. It's like trick candles.
Right.
It's the opposite of the ones that don't go out. Trick on mom.
Christy gave us another one. She kind of went on a tangent too. Oh, Moist, where art thou?
Oh,
Nice.
Sounds like personal issues.
I was gonna say someone's got a problem.
They make stuff for that. It's fine.
I was gonna say
Yeah,
that's easy
Nothing
to
to be
fix.
ashamed of.
If you're a little dry, that's fine.
Nothing to be ashamed
Got
of.
shit for that.
Sarah gave us a. This one's good because it also rhymes with the real one. Sophie's Moist.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
So good job, Sarah, on that one.
Good job, Sophie.
And then Shelly gave us Moist Boys.
Moist boys.
Moist
Oh.
Boys.
Moist boys.
okay.
Oh,
I'm not gonna go there.
Sorry, there was one other one. Talk amongst yourselves. Let me find it real quick.
Oh, Jesus. Scrolling through. So we're going to have a lot more of these audience interactions and a lot more postings as we figure out what the hell we're doing here with this stuff.
Oh
So
yeah.
everybody sent in a comment and participating in this. Thank you very much. There's going to be more to come. Like I said, we're trying. And,
Heck yeah. Thank
um,
you for actually interacting with us.
thank you.
That's awesome.
Yes. So did you find it?
I did.
All right.
I
Was
did.
it in my pants?
It was not. Well, no.
All right.
No.
Because
So
reaching.
Wrong cell phone.
Stephanie again gave us Moist World, so I could get behind that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Lee gave us Moist Fellas.
Moist
Moist Fellas.
Yeah.
It's a different kind of mobster movie.
Yeah. Well, it has a happy ending.
Well, yeah, for at least one person.
Right. Well, the original, not so much.
I was going to say most don't have a happy ending, so
All right.
So did you come up with some there, Merlin?
Yeah. So we figured we'd let us experts chime in and have some fun. Like I said, thank you for participating. I came up with, would you say, a plethora?
Oh,
all
right.
Movies?
You have a plethora, I have a multitude.
Okay.
I've just got a handful.
I came up with, I'll give you 3, and then maybe we come back and I'll...
Okay. How many do you have?
I
'Cause I got 5.
I have 7.
7. Okay, go ahead and do 5.
I have 7.
I-
You want me to do
How many
5?
you got, Mouth? How many's Mouth got?
I have 6, but one of them I have 2 because it's the same movie, but I changed the words around.
Okay.
So
So let's do 5. And we'll
Actually, I
come back.
have 6 because the Moist Babysitter one was taken by a fan. So
Gotcha.
Oh,
good
yeah.
thinking there. You're
Yeah,
on the
they
same
snagged
way.
it.
You're on the right frame of mind for this show. So you have Moist Weapon 1 through 3.
Oh, yeah.
The trilogy of moistness.
That's a trilogy of moistness. Sisterhood of the Moist Pants.
Oh,
Oh.
I really like.
Well
I would
done.
watch this one.
right.
I would watch this one.
Right.
Last one, not so much, but Moist Pants. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have Moist Panther.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
So Moist in Wonderland.
Oh,
all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because who doesn't? Here's an action one for you.
Oh.
A good day to die moist.
Oh,
Oh, nice.
you know what? If you're gonna die, why not?
You got to pick the day, so that was the good day.
So is that our
Right.
favorite Christmas movie then?
Right? Because they're all around Christmas,
Right.
right?
Exactly.
No, I'm
No.
going with that. That's fine.
Die Hard
Nice.
3 is not around Christmas,
It didn't.
but it doesn't matter.
Oh well, yeah,
Doesn't
it's a
matter.
Die Hard movie. Whatever.
Oh, no, 1 and 2 were.
Yeah.
Right.
Damn you, dreamy Dennis Franz.
Dang it.
How many is that? Is that 5?
I
I'll
don't
throw one more at you.
Yeah, go one more.
Just go. ahead.
Star Wars: The Moist Awakens.
Oh,
Moist Awakens.
Yeah.
I like it.
nice.
All right.
Okay, so I kind of went. I'll give you all of them just because.
All right,
Go
go
for
for
it.
it. Go for it, man.
So the first one, moist fiction.
You know what? I actually thought about that one, so that's a good call.
Yeah, I like that one a lot. It made
like
me
it.
laugh. He giggles. So this is my double up because I changed the words around.
Okay.
Same movie though. So Crazy Moist Asians,
Oh, nice.
or you can go Moist Rich Asians. So either way you want it,
Either
you
way.
can have it either way.
Right.
Take
I
your
like the
pick.
Crazy one.
I did too. That was actually the first one that I thought of. So the Ridgemont High, I thought it was funny that a listener went there because I did too, but I did it a little differently. Mine is Moist Times at Ridgemont High.
Okay, that works too.
That's how
Yeah.
a pro does it, right
That's
there.
right. Yeah.
I also gave you Moist Science.
Moist. Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe more
Uh,
botany.
Ooh.
Dr. Moist, because who doesn't love that?
Right.
And
Dr.
then
Moist.
the last one, I did another play off of a different movie, and I went Avengers Moist Game.
Oh,
Moist game.
that's a lot of moistness.
Lots of moist.
Lots
and
of
avenging the moist.
And those of you who hate this
Yeah.
word are just cringing right now. You're pulling your fingernails out right now.
Right.
Just going, God damn it.
Stop saying that word.
Stop
Right.
saying that word. It's amazing how many people have like this
Oh, yeah.
visceral reaction to the word moist, right?
Well, that's how we came up with this game, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And once you know that person, you're saying it constantly.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
Just like, yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right, Shiggs, take it away.
All right, so I went with and give a little shout out to my wife on this one. She kind of came up with this one. Ace Ventura, Moist Detective.
Nice.
Yeah,
Searching out that moist.
right. And I had to throw this one in because my son actually came up with this one.
Oh, dang.
He's a big fan of the Polar Express, so we got the Moist Express. And
Sounds
then
like a wet train ride.
right.
Yeah. Well,
And then I went with Moist Men Can't Jump.
Okay.
All right. Yeah.
True story.
Yeah.
True story. Then I went with the Moist Witch Project. That's a scary,
I get it.
scary demon.
Well,
Right
it just
See
sounds
where
like
you're
she's
going.
from the Ho Forest.
Which, for everybody out there that's not from the Northwest, that is a tropical rainforest in Washington
In
State.
Washington, yeah,
Okay,
it's the
sorry.
Ho Rainforest.
Low
Anyway.
rainforest.
I just had to bring people
it's
in
moist
so,
out
so
there.
they get the
It is
joke.
moist.
It's the only rainforest in the United States.
Right. And then finally, I went with everyone's favorite, Moist in the Hood.
Oh, who doesn't want to be moist in the hood?
Nicely done.
So yeah, that's anybody listening. Feel free to hop on our socials and add some more. And
Enjoy the moistness.
yeah, add some more, and we'll read
Stay
them again
moist,
on the next
everybody.
episode.
Stay moist. I love that. That's awesome.
Stay moist, my friends.
Stay moist. Also, it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
It is.
It is, and normally we are today. In fact, we would have been on our annual ride for Come Walk With Me.
Yes, we
Right.
would have.
Right?
Yep.
For raising money for breast cancer awareness and everything. So we volunteer our time to Multicare for the Come Walk With Me program and everything. So we're raising money. They couldn't do it this year because of the COVIDs
Yep.
and everything. So they're doing a virtual fundraiser for the breast cancer awareness program. And if you like to donate, you can always look them up at Come Walk With Me at multicare.org. But this is something that we spend a lot of time, money into supporting, and they're doing great things over there at Multicare.
Yes, they are.
Through this Come Walk With Me. So it's breast cancer awareness. It's a huge deal. It affects guys as well as women.
Oh, yes.
And I want to stress that because I think guys get overlooked in this.
Oh, yeah.
But guys can get breast cancer too. And the symptoms and everything that affect guys, guys typically won't talk about that kind of thing because it's embarrassing and it's whatever. And women have really owned it and embraced it. And so there's a lot of publicity and there's a lot of promotion for the women's breast cancer awareness.
Oh, yeah.
But it affects men as well.
Oh, and it also affects men, like with their spouses, girlfriends, wives, moms,
it's a huge thing.
grandmothers. It's huge, man.
It's a
so
huge thing.
help out with the Come Walk With Me virtual event because
Yeah, look up
it is for a good cause.
Yeah, Come Walk With Me. If you key it in on Google, or you can just go to Come Walk With Me at multicare.org and please donate to that, or donate in general to the breast cancer awareness to fight this thing. So it affects everybody. Just wanted to give a little shout out because I just remembered we're in October now.
Oh yeah,
So,
we're in October, so
Yeah, and
Wear
we
your
could
pinks.
probably post a link on our
let's put it up there.
pages
Yeah.
too. So
yeah, we'll take the link and we'll definitely put the
Cool.
link out on our socials. So
Fire
look for
up
it
the
on-
Commodore 64 and get on the interwebs.
Look for it everywhere. Look for it on Instagram, Twitter, and our Facebook. Yeah, make it easy.
yeah, for sure.
So a little shout out there.
Yeah, it's kind of a big deal. Cancer affects everybody, so it sucks. I've said this before, and pardon my language, but cancer can go fuck itself. So
So if you're listening.
yeah. So let's do some good and try and beat this thing up.
Right. And this is one that we've really gotten behind. So these guys, Multicare, has just done big things, and we've been pretty successful for it. So
Yeah, it's one of the charities at least
Yep.
that we really support. So
Yep. So October, Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and everybody go and contribute in any way possible. If not just in money, volunteer for one of these events going on in your community, because there's a ton of them going on. So
Oh yeah.
it doesn't take just money. It can take time. It can take
And
whatever
not a lot
you
of
got.
time
Just
either.
anything.
Just a little bit of time.
Just a little bit of time.
Just to be
Yeah.
involved.
Right. And stuff. And it makes a huge impact on people's lives. So let's kick this thing in the ass.
Yeah, and I kind of miss doing the ride this year because it's pretty wild to see a couple hundred big burly bikers covered in pink.
All the bikes
Their
coming
bikes
down the
are in
road,
pink.
shutting down
They're
this-
wearing pink.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool to see.
Yeah.
It's super fun.
A bunch of
It's
normal
fun, right?
bikers. Yep.
Yeah, so hopefully next year we can get back to normal, and
Yeah, and
it'll
if you
probably
ride,
be bigger than ever.
come out next year and
Hopefully.
ride with us. Yeah.
Yeah. If you ride a motorcycle, please, and you're local here to Washington State, especially the Puyallup area, please come down, look it up.
But it is a whole event
Join us on the ride.
that they do down Ording. No, Ording.
Sumner, yeah.
And Ording. Yeah, we always ride down. It's in Sumner, Washington, and they do a walk.
They do a
that
walk,
coincides with the ride.
Yep.
Yeah, they
So
shut down
there's
the city.
there's a huge event. So if you don't ride, you can still participate in the Come Walk With Me. And it's all there on the Multicare.
Yeah, the motorcycle riders lead them out. It's pretty cool.
We're biased because we ride, but
Yeah, it's neat to see at least.
It's a good
Nothing
time. Yeah,
else.
it's super cool.
it's a good time. It's a whole day.
It's a good time, and
Anyway.
it's really good for people who have survived cancer to see so many people there supporting them
Oh yeah, and other survivors.
and
Well,
other
they
survivors.
provide a huge platform for people to speak out about the survivors or honoring people that have passed due to this too.
Exactly.
It's a great place where community comes together from everywhere and they embrace this thing, right?
Exactly.
And so you have survivors celebrating with people who have suffered through this thing too, and maybe lost some people, and maybe some people aren't even connected to it, but they're just showing their awareness to it.
Yeah.
When they want to,
And it's
participate
healing
in any
too.
way. It's
super healing for
It's
them.
huge.
So,
It's
yeah.
huge. So it's a great event.
Great event.
Would have been going on today. We would have been hungover now for this podcast at this point, right?
Or still drunk.
Or still drunk. Easily.
The show would be going much different, I think.
Yeah, if we tried to record it.
Yeah, we'd be speaking cursive for sure.
Yeah, love that. So come
Anyway,
on with me.
So
Check
that's
it
our
out.
shout out. It's huge. It's a big part of our lives. It's something that we would have participated in today. So I just wanted to say a little something that way. So
Also, it's not just breast cancer survivors that are out there. It's anybody with any kind of cancer.
yeah,
It's
Oh yeah.
it's not just the breast cancer. So
No. October is a
It's
month
good for
all about
everybody.
cancer awareness. Yeah.
but it's a
Yeah.
ploy by us guys because we love the boobies.
Right.
So you can support them. You can support them. You can look at. It's the one day a year where you can look at them unabashedly and nobody calls you a creep.
Right. and it can also support because it's Cancer Awareness Month in October. They've kind of expanded it, so testicular
I
and
guess they
prostate
have,
cancer. If you're a guy,
We still got Movember though. Movember is ours.
well, right,
Yeah,
that's
Movember's
yeah,
Movember is
that's
ours.
That's,
Hey,
well, I don't know.
let's
You can
not get
involve the
some-
ladies.
Yeah, there's
All
some
right.
there's some ladies out there that can participate in Movember.
Sure.
Yeah.
If you want to grow a mustache, ladies, you go ahead. I support you.
Well,
That's
they've been supporting other ways too, but hence we're going off on a tangent.
What?
So,
So
yeah.
so
Try a
before
little of
we
this.
start,
Make sure it's still good.
oh,
All right.
passing
don't
the,
Good
passing the
coffee.
bourbon around. Before we start, I want to hear Chris's take on
Is that still good?
Bill and Ted's
Still good.
Oh,
because
we want to hear the movie review
I
on
do because I haven't
Bill
seen
and
it yet,
Ted
and I know
Face
you
the
have.
Music.
So I wanna,
I haven't either.
I want
Man,
to get your take on that.
Check that
Okay.
out.
Well, I'm gonna
Chris
try
says
to.
it's fine. I don't know.
I'm gonna try. Well, I don't think there's any left.
Son of a bitch.
You gave me
Here.
the end.
Fuck. All right.
Sorry about that. I guess I drank all the bourbon. So, doing this without any spoilers is going to be tough. But I will say that this Bill and Ted, I loved it, man. Out of 5 stars as a movie overall, being like the best movie ever made. For Bill and Ted, and knowing Bill and Ted, if you're a fan of Bill and Ted, I would say that this movie is probably like a 4-ish. So
4 out of 5.
yeah, 4 out of 5. So I think it did a great job. Are you dying over there, bro? Okay,
I'm good.
all right. Don't choke on your good
Choking
coffee.
on a pork chop.
Right. So they did a great job, man. So I'm gonna try not to spoil anything. So they did a very good job bringing in the characters of Bill and Ted, and there's some new characters in there as well. They did a great job with honoring other characters that couldn't be there because obviously
Rufus is dead.
Rufus is dead, right?
Yeah,
So we're not giving away anything there, but I'll tell you that the movie did a great job including his character type, and the way they did it was phenomenal.
Awesome.
It followed Bill and Ted and put a great closure to the story if they really wanted to close it out. So if you've watched all the Bill and Teds and you know all the storylines because it followed through with like a lot of those storylines. So I think you need to give it a watch. It's definitely worth it if you love Bill and Ted, because I love that. I love Bill and Ted myself. I love the dumb humor. Keanu Reeves, it's other than that weird serious role that he plays, this is probably one of his best like comedic style roles for what he does for his character type. So yeah, I would say check it out for sure.
Good. I'm glad it didn't suck because I really want to watch it.
No, yeah.
So I'm gonna check it out soon. Have you guys seen Cobra Kai yet?
No, not yet.
No.
I want to watch it though. I've got it saved on my list. So
I'm seeing people all over like Facebook and stuff talking about Cobra Kai, and because it's on Netflix now, so you guys got Netflix can watch it. But it used to be on YouTube Red, and that's when I saw it. I only saw season 1 on.
That was the original, right? Back in the day.
No, it was just like a couple years ago.
Oh, okay.
So Cobra Kai season 1 and 2 were on YouTube Red.
Okay, so they started 3 years ago or something?
Something like that, yeah.
Okay,
but Netflix bought the rights to it, so
right. That's where I saw it. I didn't even know it existed.
Yeah. Oh, dude, it's so awesome. So Netflix season 3 starts in January, and they're also going to do a season 4.
Oh, nice.
So,
that's cool.
Yeah.
Now's the time to catch up, huh?
Yeah, you want to catch it. This show is one of the best shows I've seen in a continuation of a story 30 years later.
All right, especially a movie story, right?
Right. So what they do is they kind of focus more on Johnny Lawrence as opposed to Daniel LaRusso, right?
Right. But so those of you that don't know Cobra Kai, it goes back to Karate Kid, right? So Karate Kid 1 and 2.
Right.
And Lawrence was the bad guy.
He was the bad guy.
Right.
But in Cobra Kai, the way they do it is you don't know who's the good guy and who's the bad guy now. So
because they're both kind of douchey and they're both kind of good.
Yeah, kind of. So if you,
I don't know.
You watch it,
Lawrence was a huge douche in the original, right?
I mean, he was,
and even Ralph Macchio was a little. He was a little douchey there towards the end.
He was a whiny bitch.
He was, but they do a great job of making it seem like Daniel was the bully. You know, because you're seeing it from Johnny's perspective,
right,
on this show. So they make it seem like Daniel was the bully, picking on him all the time.
Okay.
But it holds very true to the originals. It's got full of 80s music, because Johnny Lawrence is basically stuck in the 80s.
So who isn't?
Right. So, he listens.
Why wouldn't you just want to stay there?
Yeah, it's Freudian, man. He got his butt kicked in the 80s. He stayed in the 80s.
Well, yeah.
He's stuck when he was cool.
Yeah, I haven't finished all of season 2 yet, but I'm working on it. But it's a great show. I recommend it to anybody that was a fan of the Karate Kid.
Heck yeah, I'll check that out for sure.
Great story. Okay, so we're going to talk about some concerts.
Getting back to what we had queued up.
Yeah.
Right?
No, that's all good. We like to go off script, man.
We try anyway. Not.
Yeah, I mean, we're not a radio show, so we
good
don't have
No,
a script we gotta follow.
So. No. It's just nice to have some things that we know we're going to talk about it.
There's my
But to get this started, I say that we talk about our favorite concert that we've attended so far in our life and why it was our favorite. Because there's a lot of cool stuff that we've been to. So,
and we're missing concerts big time. I mean,
big time.
We're missing huge concerts this year. I mean, we were teed up for all kinds of concerts, right? And I'm sure everybody was.
We would have just gotten done with the stadium tour with Motley Crue,
Def Leppard.
Right.
We would have been
Poison.
We would have been gushing
and
about
Joan
that.
Jett. Yeah, man.
Speaking of moist,
I'd still be hungover.
Yes. And I'm sure everybody else had plans and concerts in their hometowns that bands that they wanted to see.
Damn COVID.
Right. And so, having just missed that, we were thinking about it, and we're like, well, what was the best one? What's a good one?
Right. Exactly. Like, what one so far?
As best I can remember.
As best you can remember, right? Yeah. Did you enjoy? Yeah. So, what do you think? Shig, you want to take it?
Oh, man, there's so many great ones that I went to. One of the coolest ones that I went to, me and my buddy Ryan, and I think it was like 96 or 97, went to the Warped Tour.
Nice.
Out at the Gorge. So the Warped Tour anybody that doesn't know, it's a big punk rock concert. Like,
If you don't know, fuck you.
this was like this Warped Tour had 75 bands.
How do you
they
not know
had 3
Warped Tour?
stages.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
3 stages.
it's always huge,
Yeah, but I mean, there were so many.
and not just punk rock bands either.
No, it was everybody. They had
Yeah.
rap, they had rock, they had
Shoot,
everything.
one of Eminem's best performances in Washington was
Oh,
at the
yeah.
Warped Tour, wasn't it?
Maybe I don't. I didn't see that one if he was
Yeah.
there, but I mean, this one. It was the very first time I ever saw Flog and Molly, which I'm a huge fan of now. Never heard of them before, but big fan of theirs. There was Dropkick Murphys.
You gotta love the Murphs.
Love the Murphs,
Me
love
First
Molly.
and the Gimme Gimmes.
Oh,
Rancid.
jeez.
I mean, it was any band that was a big punk rock band was there, so that was
Nice.
pretty badass. That's
Yeah,
just my
Warped-
first one. I got more. So
Warped
I'll
Tours-
do this
Yeah, Warped Tour is always good.
Yeah.
It's easy. Yeah. I mean, you have multiple stages going on, and it's just a little something for everybody. And you're constantly moving around, too.
Right.
So, like, unlike most concerts where you're just sitting in one
Stationary
place,
in one
yeah,
place,
you're
yeah.
stationary. You can go from here and hear a few songs, probably from a band you haven't heard of before.
Right.
And then you're like, oh, okay, that's cool. And then when they peter out and do something from the new album, you can wander over to the other stage and catch somebody else and catch somebody else. And
Well, the Gorge is always good for that in Washington because like they have
Yeah.
the 2 small stages already set up and the main stage. So you have main stage and then like an A stage and a B stage or B and C or whatever they call them.
Well,
Right.
the cool thing that they did is they took the main stage and split it in 2. So while one band was playing, the next band was getting all set up. So as soon as that first band's done, they switch over to the
Oh,
other side
nice.
and they're going. So it's just nonstop.
Did they
So you
actually
don't
use the small like C stage
They
or
did.
whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah, I always thought that was
Yeah.
cool because you can go over there in between when the main stage is going. You can go over to the little stage and you can watch like people over there.
And that stage is over by the beer garden. So they did that
Exactly.
right.
sure, you have
Exactly.
a captive audience for
Right.
sure.
Hell
Right.
yeah.
Right. Yeah.
That's where you're all hanging out.
Yeah.
I love the Gorge. Favorite concert at the Gorge was Dave Matthews Band.
Son of a bitch.
Oh, jeez.
I knew you were going to say that.
Headlined by Aaron Neville. And
For those that
Brothers.
don't know, Dave Matthews Band is one of Shig's unfavored
No,
groups.
I actually did see Dave Matthews
No, I knew
with
you did.
the Neville brothers opening up at the Gorge. Yeah, I don't know why we were there. I don't remember much of the concert.
Right.
I just remember it was a thing and we went.
Yeah.
But when you go to the Gorge,
and
you
stuff,
usually
so-
don't remember much.
Correct.
Right.
Correct. So I just say that to get in their skin there a little bit.
Yeah, whatever.
I knew you did.
Ugh.
No,
Bleh.
yeah. bleh. One of the best concerts. Geez, I'd have to say, God, they blend together so much. You know, the one time we saw.
So Matt drinks too much during concerts, is what we're saying.
who doesn't?
Well, just in life, really.
Well, yeah, right.
Huh? What? You're not my sponsor. You don't know. No, what do we saw? We saw the Interrupters opening up for
Real Big Fish.
Real Big Fish
Ooh.
and Less Than Jake.
Less than Jake. Yep.
And this
That was a good
was
show.
at the small concert venue at the market, right?
Yep. Showbox at the market.
Showbox at the market. So in Seattle, the Showbox is a big concert venue, and so they have 2 locations. They have one in classic downtown,
Yep.
Soto.
Right in the
Soda.
middle of all the shit.
and then they have
which
another
I
one
don't
at
think is
Soto.
open anymore.
They have the one in Soto, which is
that's right.
the big
They
barn
got
looking
rid of
thing, right?
the market. That's right.
And then
Okay.
the market, which is just off of Pike's Market in Seattle. Everybody knows the world famous Pike's Market, and you're like a block off of that.
Pike's Place Market.
Pike's Place
Yes,
Market.
yes.
If you're from out of town and read the whole sign, I guess. Sure. Anyway, the Pike's Market, and it's a small venue. They can only fit a few hundred people in there, and so we wanted to go see Less Than Jake and who else was it? God damn it! Fuck.
Real Big Fish.
Real,
Real
big,
Big
fish,
Fish.
yes.
The
Real Big
Interrupters.
Fish. And it turned out that the
No, you know what?
Interrupters.
No, the Interrupters opened for
God damn it! I'm a mess.
Dropkick Murphys at Soto.
Were they at Soto?
They were at Soto, yeah.
Well, who opened for Fish and Jake?
I don't even remember. I don't even know if we were there for the openers.
I think he's getting dementia in his old age.
You shut your fucking mouth.
We've been to a lot of shows, man. It's
Were
easy
the
to get
Interrupters
lucky.
not... Anyway.
Interrupters are badass.
So
though.
if the Interrupters had opened for Less Than Jake and Real Big Fish, that would have been my very favorite concert.
Would have
As it
been,
was,
yes.
we didn't see... It would happen to be my birthday as well.
Yep.
And so people were buying me drinks because that's what they do for me on my birthday. And so I guess we missed or maybe I time traveled through the first opening act.
Maybe I must have too because I don't remember who it was.
Got Less Than Jake and Real Big Fish. One of my very favorite bands, Real Big Fish.
Right.
And the place was just going off. It was so small, you were right up on stage, even though we were back in the beer garden. So that'd be my favorite right there. Yeah.
All right.
We got mouth.
I'm kind of tossed. So for two different reasons.
Slow down the drinking there, bro.
No.
Like it wasn't my birthday?
Like tossed in
Remember who opened up for
No,
Less Than Jake?
tossed in my thoughts. Although I do tend to get a little buzzy.
At least you're not tossing your
during
salad.
concerts. No. I don't even think Marilyn Manson can do that, but
Oh, he
hey,
would.
Whatever.
Well, that's a different.
He would if he could.
Different episode.
Right. Okay. So, I would say that for
Remember that time Marilyn Manson tossed my salad?
for performance value, Iron Maiden. Iron Maiden was
That was a good
definitively
show. That was a good show.
was definitively my favorite for performance.
They had so many props.
Oh
my
dude.
God.
Oh, Jesus.
That was a theatrical performance right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, if you've never seen a concert that
Yeah.
looks like a theatrical performance, Iron Maiden is definitively the way to go.
Yeah.
So there was this dude sitting next to me. He had been to Iron Maiden, like this was his 9th time.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, geez, man. And he's like, they're great every single time I see them.
Oh, sure.
They're one of the best bands to actually go watch. The sound quality was phenomenal. It sounded just like their album music. And like the way that they put up stuff is just super cool. So, yeah, definitely them for performance. But I would say for like the environment and because it was historical, for me, it was Dropkick Murphys and Flogging Molly together. The first time they've ever done a tour together.
Oh, yeah, that one we went to 2 years ago.
Yeah, 2 years ago.
Yep.
So, 2018's tour?
Something like that, yeah.
And just to see both of those bands, and they did like an hour and a half each one.
Yeah.
And I love both bands.
At the end, they kind of came together.
Yeah, at the end they came together and had all of them on stage doing stuff. Dude, that was rock solid. And their opener was an Irish folk music guy.
Yeah, it was that
that
singer-songwriter
was
guy.
all by himself, and
Yeah.
he was epic by himself.
He
He
was
could work
cool.
the crowd.
He wrote all
Yeah.
those... he wrote a bunch of punk songs for the
Right.
Irish punk scene,
Right.
and he came out just by himself with acoustic guitar, right?
He
And he
did, like-
told stories
Right.
about how he wrote the song,
And then played
and then
the song.
played the song.
Yeah.
And you're like...
And it's like Irish folk punk. Yeah, I was like,
Right.
dude, that is so pumped.
And the guy
So-
looked like he was 100
cool.
years old,
He did. Yeah.
but he brought it. That guy,
Dude,
that
that-
was super cool.
So that was
Yeah. No.
two different
Nope.
concerts for two different
Kudos.
reasons. Yeah.
Yep. Kudos. Yep.
Also, if you haven't seen Garth Brooks live, even if you're not a fan of country music, you got to check out Garth because there's a reason he's been Entertainer of the Year
Oh
a
yeah.
bunch of times because that dude puts on a hell of
He
a
does.
show.
Well, and there's a bunch
gotta
of
get
country artists that do a great job with their concerts, man. Like
Yeah,
those are
but-
fun
But
concerts.
Garth is like he's in a league by himself.
Oh, of course.
League all his own.
Got a funny Garth story. Not really funny, I guess. We were at the Colorado State Fair. I think I've told you this story.
Yeah.
Like a billion times, right?
Yeah.
Because you've known me forever.
Yeah, but go ahead.
Okay. We were at the Colorado State Fair, and they always have that. It was sponsored by Bud Light. It was the free stage, and they had music playing, blah, 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 a bunch of no-name guys, and it was just to keep the music going throughout the whole concert venue, or through the whole fair venue. And so we were about ready to leave, and we're like, well, let's just sober up a little bit on the hillside and listen to the Bud Light stage for a minute or two and everything. And this guy, this dipshit, they always have the dipshit MC coming up,
Right.
and he always has the mouth bar, blah, blah, blah. This next guy is going to be huge, whatever. And so he literally said that about Garth Brooks. And he goes, this next guy is going to be a star. You're going to remember this night for the rest of your lives. And we're like, yeah, okay, whatever. Bring him on. He goes, this guy's name is Garth Brooks. and you're going to remember this guy. Here he is, and blah, blah, blah. And so he comes out, and he plays some songs that were off of his first album. Played Much Too Young to Feel This
Much too young to feel this damn old.
Right, there you go. If you're a country star or fan, you're yelling at me right now. Fucking care. Anyway, so we're sitting on this hillside, sobering up from the fair, listening to Garth Brooks, don't even know who the fuck he is, and then like a year or two later, just nuclear explosion. He's like all over the place, and then he just takes off and everything.
Yeah,
we're
he
like,
blew.
remember when we were making fun of that guy drunk at the fucking Colorado State Fair and for free? Try and get a free ticket to Garth Brooks now.
Oh no, it's not gonna happen.
It was like, well,
Try
that's
a
a
couple
story.
$100 for it.
We were there at the beginning.
That is kind of cool, though.
I can't say we were fans, but his songs were good,
Oh yeah.
obviously.
Right.
But off that Garth
Yeah,
self-titled
man,
album.
I've seen so many good ones. I went and saw Brooks and Dunn at the Gorge. They actually filmed their video for Only in America at the Gorge during that show. They did
Why
it
not?
twice. They did it once in the beginning of their set while it was daylight, and then they did it at the very end after it was dark. So
That's
that's cool.
cool.
But that show,
Smart.
But that show
Yeah.
had, before they were all huge.
The
like
Gorge
they only
is
had
cool.
like one album out, right? So it started with Keith Urban.
Oh dang!
And then it went to Toby Keith, and then Montgomery Gentry,
Holy Lord!
and then Brooks and Dunn closed it out.
It's like a country festival.
Oh, dude,
shit.
Yeah,
It's
but
Warped Tour for country
Yeah,
folk.
and
exactly.
none of those other people were big yet,
Yeah.
That's crazy.
so that was pretty cool. But I also saw the Up in Smoke tour at the Tacoma Dome,
Oh yeah.
which was
With Brooks and Dunn?
no, this
No?
was
Oh.
Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg,
Could you imagine?
Eminem.
Yep.
The only thing that pissed me off is Ice Cube wasn't at that show for some reason, because I really wanted to see.
Probably
Ice
had a
Cube.
cold.
Maybe he's a little chilly. But that was by far the best rap concert I ever saw, because most of the time rappers suck live. They got
Yeah.
50 people on stage. They all got a mic. They're all talking
Just
over each
yelling.
other's shit. But yeah, but
Yeah.
that show was awesome.
They usually, yeah, I agree. I mean, I'm pretty eclectic, so I've been to a bunch of stuff. But Summer Jam, I did Summer Jam once in like late 90s, early 2000s. But Snoop was a headliner, and that was actually decent. Like Genuine was there, so you had some R&B too, which was kind of cool.
Yeah.
And they didn't bring like millions of people with them. They didn't
Right.
have their crews, so.
I was at a summer jam and Nelly was performing. I swear to God, he had 50 people on stage. You couldn't understand a single word anybody was
Really?
saying.
Oh,
it was
geez.
terrible.
Well,
It was
and I got
terrible.
lucky.
Yeah.
I went to a lucky one.
I've never been to one of those concerts.
Yes,
No,
Matt is
it's
not
called
as
rap
eclectic.
music.
Yeah,
Rap music.
rap or now known as hip hop.
So, hip hop. Gotcha.
Right.
All
Got
right.
any funny stories from concerts?
Yeah.
Funny story concerts. Let's see. Yes, we went and saw, getting back to Flogging Molly, we went and saw Flogging Molly when they weren't necessarily new, but it was early. It was years ago at a place called El Corazon, which used to be called the
so
Off-Ramp
earlier in
up
their-
in Seattle.
Early
And-
in their
And
U.S.
the Graceland.
Right. And so now it's called
the
Graceland, right?
Yeah.
No, now it's El Corazon.
Right.
Well, it was
It was
El
the
Corazon
Graceland
before,
before that.
and then it was Graceland. I can't remember. They changed their name every other year for tax purposes.
It doesn't
I guess.
matter. They're
anyway,
gone. They're gone now. So
right.
It doesn't matter.
Nobody goes there. Anyway, this
Close,
is
sorry.
maybe the shoebox of all concert venues
Oh,
in
that
Seattle.
place is tiny.
It is, yeah, you're butt to nut in this place, right? And so they have another, it's like two rooms. One is the concert room, and one is the, like, entrance and beer, like, bar
Oh yeah.
room. And so you get your beers and everything from one room, and you bring it into the other room, right? And so we had to post it up right on the rail because it's a two-story thing. They have a dance floor, and then they have a rail that's about half story tall, right? But
half story.
Holy Lord, that's,
That's
a big rail.
It's a big rail.
it's not, what, 5-6 feet?
Anyway, continue. Just keep talking. Just
Anyway,
keep talking.
it's not your story, it's my story. Go on to the half story. Shit. You were there. Anyway, so we're up against the rail, and the wife says, well, I'm going to go get beers. You guys save our spot because it's so cramped in here. I'll go get a bunch of beers. bring them back.
Which, by the way, there's no such thing as saving a spot in that place because it's
no,
so tight.
but you're
Oh, yeah.
shuffling and you got to sharpen up your elbows like you're, pipping in the paint.
Right.
And so,
Good
basketball.
reference.
Right, and I don't even know basketball. So, she goes out, she comes, and it takes her forever, like an hour. She comes back, she's got all these beers, and she is pissed. She is pissed off. And I'm like, what? And she says, well, I was standing in line and everybody was cool and everything. And I get up and it's my next turn. And some asshole fucker comes from around the corner and cuts in line. And he orders a bunch of beers and everything. And I was like, hey, it's my turn. What the fuck? And he turns around and he says, sorry, love. Their beers are on me. And he grabs his beers and he takes off. She's like, what an asshole. I mean, he paid for our beers, but he just cut in line. I stood in line for an hour, right? And I'm like, well, it's free beer, so who the fuck cares, right? And
Right.
I was like, that was random, but at least he bought us
Nice,
beers.
free beer.
So she comes up, and we're all drinking the beers and everything. We watch the concert. Well, Flogging Molly comes on stage and everything, and it was all dark, and then the lights come up, and lead singer starts singing, and she's like, that's the guy! That's the fucking guy. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And she goes, that's the guy who fucking cut me in line. I'm like, the lead singer to Flogging Molly cut in line and you have issue with that? She
Right.
goes, well, he didn't wait in line. It wasn't his turn.
Well, at least
So,
they bought you the
I'm
beer.
like, you met the lead singer of Flogging fucking Molly. He bought us all beers and you didn't even know it?
Right.
Jesus.
She's like, that's the fucking guy. She was still kind of mad.
So angry. So angry.
And I was like, oh my God,
And
only
there you are, jelly.
Only you, honey.
All kinds
Only
of
you.
jelly.
Why couldn't I have
Right.
been
Right.
in line that day, right? But it wouldn't have happened if it was me.
Right.
Only her.
Exactly.
And so she had the luck that way. She's like,
That's why it happens.
fuck that guy.
And she doesn't
Oh
care.
my-
It's just the fact that she got cut off in line.
It was
Right,
the fact
exactly.
that she got cut off in line and he didn't wait in line. But why would you? You're the lead singer of
Right. Of Flogging
The
Molly.
The band that you're
everybody
there
paid to come
The
see.
lead singer of the
It's
band.
weird that he had to come out front to get beers.
Right.
You would think they would have a
Yeah,
guy for
someone
that, right?
for him just running back and forth. Yeah.
So anyway, the day that Flogging Molly bought us beers
Right.
and
That's
pissed off
awesome.
my wife for
Hell
buying
yeah.
us beers.
So
If I remember right,
She's awesome that way. She has just this luck, right?
right.
oh yeah.
If I remember right, that's when I introduced you guys to Flogging Molly.
It is. It was when we had heard them, but you had introduced them because we were listening to the Murphs.
Yeah.
And you're like, there's this band, Flogging Molly, and we listened to them, we're like, fuck yeah.
Yep.
And they're like, oh, shit, they're playing at old El Corazon, and the tickets were $20, maybe?
I don't even think they were there. They were probably like $12.
Yeah. It was
Jeez.
stupid
Man,
cheap.
That's really cheap.
It was stupid cheap. So we're like, why not? He said, why not? I said, why
Was
not?
that on their first
you know
tour?
what? Everybody said, why
Yeah,
not?
they were not like they only had their first album out.
It
Oh,
wasn't.
nice.
Yeah,
So-
it was
so that
before
was the
Devil's
first-
Dance Floor.
Yeah.
That was the first U.S. tour where they went from East Coast all the way down to California.
Yeah, they were just running up and down the coast and stuff. So they were trying to get the
Awesome.
name out there and stuff. So they're playing the smaller venues. Anything in Seattle is considered huge, I guess. And so the off ramp, El Corazon, whatever.
I also have a funny
Cool.
story about that venue back when
Yeah?
it was at Graceland. This was just, it's probably 96 or 97. So the one and only Hedgehog, Ron Jeremy,
Oh Jesus!
it was supposed to be a comedy tour
I ran into him once.
that he was
He
doing.
did comedy.
He did comedy.
Literally?
Oh Jesus!
Yeah. And
Don't quit your day job.
no,
though.
no offense to
Oh.
Ron Jeremy, but it wasn't good.
Stick to what you know.
Right.
Right.
So, and for people who don't know, Ron Jeremy he's the American dream.
If you don't know, what are you doing listening to
He's
this?
a short, fat, hairy
Oh, he's horrible.
porn star.
Yeah.
Porn star for
Porn
like
star.
one trick.
But he
one
is
trick
actually
pony.
hilarious.
Back in the 70s, though, he wasn't that fat. And he
Oh,
had
that's
hair.
true,
He
yeah.
was like he had the whole Burt Reynolds thing going on.
Right? Yeah, he did.
He was very hairy. Full head of hair.
well, that's where he made
skinny.
it big, isn't that
He
where he
was, like,
started
fit,
his porn
yeah.
career? Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. But he's got this huge thing.
Asset, if you will.
Huge asset.
Huge asset. So
Sure.
we're at the Graceland, and I still remember the opening band was an all-girl band called Spread Eagle.
Of course.
And if I
Right.
remember right, my friend Burns bought a T-shirt. I doubt he still has it, but he did buy a T-shirt of it. And it's just
That would be epic if he did.
It's 4 scissoring legs, if I remember right.
Oh,
Oh,
geez.
Jesus.
It's either that or it's just
How
Spread
awesome would
eagle-
that be
spread
to
eagle.
Right,
have that?
okay.
Yeah.
Hence the name.
so I go and we weren't old enough to buy beers, so we weren't buying beers, but
Sure you weren't.
somehow I got shuffled away from everybody else in the whole crowd because everybody, he's getting ready to come up, so everybody's rushing, to get their spot. So right to the right of the stage, there's a door that takes you to the backstage area, and they got a security guard standing there. And somehow I get pushed all the way over to this door, and I end up getting pushed inside the door.
Oh.
And the security guard's there, and I was like, look, man, I didn't try to come back here. I just kind of got pushed. He's like, you're fine. And a couple minutes later, that's where they go up on stage.
Right.
So Ron Jeremy comes out, and he's standing there waiting to go on stage, and he sees me, and he goes, how you doing, kid? And I was like,
Nice.
I'm doing good, man. I was just kind of like, I didn't even really know what to say. I was like, dude, this is awesome. And this is before cell phones, so I couldn't take a
Sure.
picture with him or anything. But
Right.
he sat there, and we just kind of BS for like 2 minutes
Nice.
Oh, dang.
before he went. He's like, all right, I got to go. Take care, kid. I was like, dude,
Yeah, bro.
man.
He is the nicest guy for being a celebrity.
Right.
I
What's funny is none of my other friends were there to do it because they were all in their regular
right.
spot. I'm the
So
one that
it's
got pushed away.
unconfirmed story. You're
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, right. True story, though.
Right. I ran into him literally in Vegas. It was during the AVNs. They were in town. Weren't going for some reason.
Coincidental.
That
Right.
is the porn awards, right?
It is.
All right, just
And-
making sure so everybody knows out there.
Coming around a bank of slot machines, middle of the night / morning, ran smack into him. I was drunk, and he caught me. And ran into him, and of course, his security guards, he's surrounded by these huge, mountains of men, right? And so they, step up, and he's like, no, it's fine, and whatever, and blah, blah. He picks me up, kind of, and I was like, hey, you're Ron Jeremy. He's like, yes, I am. And I was like, and so we had a little conversation there. He,
Bro.
took the time.
You're
And-
so cool.
Right. He was obviously going somewhere. And so we had a little conversation about what he's doing in Vegas. And just, I don't even remember the conversation so much other than he took the time to actually engage me in conversation for a second.
Yeah, that's cool.
And more so than just, hey, thanks for, being a fan or whatever,
Right.
the normal pass off stuff.
Or knowing
It was
who the
like-
heck I am.
Right. It was a genuine, I remember having a genuine conversation with him for, 5-10 minutes, whatever
Yeah.
it was. And then he had to go, and then we went on our way kind of thing. But you just don't see that
Right.
out of somebody that famous, even though he's
Right.
famous in porn or whatever. But everybody knows who this guy is.
Well, right, yeah. I mean, exactly.
So, Ron Jeremy, genuine guy. Although he's got a little bit of legal trouble lately. But
Oh, that's
we
true.
won't talk about that.
that, whatever.
That is
Hasn't
cool,
gone to
though.
court, so.
I don't really have a funny concert story for y'all, so
No?
don't look at me.
Yeah.
No, we went to Steel Panther.
Okay, well,
We went to Steel Panther at the House of Blues when they're still doing those shows, right?
Well,
You
that-
got in free
yeah.
because you're in the military.
Well, yes, I did. I wouldn't. There was nothing really funny about that.
Well, the
concert,
naked
though.
girl doing push-ups was kind
Okay,
of funny.
well, at the end, yeah, that was kind of
Remember the
entertaining.
strippers on stage and she
Yeah.
turned back to
Yeah.
the stage and was doing push-ups.
Oh
and-
yeah, that
If you've
with a
ever
mini
seen-
skirt
yeah,
and
if you've ever seen
no
Steel
draws.
Panther,
Yeah.
that doesn't come as a surprise.
No,
No,
not
no,
at all.
no.
But this is when Steel Panther was
and
still
neither
young.
does the fact that she got to go backstage either.
Right. No, of
Right.
course. They shuffled her backstage pretty quick. But this is before Steel Panther blew up,
Right.
So they were still doing free shows at Green Valley Ranch, and they were
Right.
still doing cheap shows at House of Blues.
Well, House of Blues. I mean, you guys had to
And
pay.
stuff. For like $10-15.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah. But they let you in for free
Oh, yeah, yeah.
and let your wife in for free
Yes.
because she was
Military
dependent.
independence.
Right.
Go to the House
So,
of Blues.
Even if it was $25, we paid like maybe $50 to get
Right.
in.
Yeah, and that
And
was
that-
epic. That place was packed, bro.
I remember you and I looking at each other going, what the fuck is going on in
Oh
here?
yeah, man. It
And we
was
got the suggestion
insanity.
from you,
Yeah.
Shiggity,
right.
to
I
go
love
and see
Steel-
these guys,
I love
right?
Steel Panther.
And it was like, you
Oh,
gotta
yeah.
see these guys. If you're there, they do a show at the House of Blues. And so I marked it down, we gotta do this,
That
right?
was a phenomenal
And so we made it happen.
show.
And it was crazy in there. I can't even describe. Yeah. No, but this place goes off and just the craziest shit. And there's celebrities in the crowd and there's just the things they do. It's
Right.
unlike any other concert you're likely to see.
Right. So Steel Panther is they started out as a 80s metal cover band.
Right.
Metal School, I believe, is what their name was.
Metal School, yes.
But they got pretty popular on the Sunset Strip.
Yeah.
And all their shows, they would always have a celebrity come up on stage, and they're usually hammered.
Usually.
Yeah, you could go on YouTube and find these, these videos. But now they have their own original music. They've got like 4 or 5 albums out.
Yeah.
But they're funny. Like all their songs are funny.
They
and
do not
raunchy
take themselves
and
seriously
not
at all.
at all.
But they still dress the part.
They do.
Like
they
they're
still dress like
stuck
they're
in the 80s. Spandex, big hair.
Yeah, but they shred. They kick ass.
So that was a good show. He forgot about that show apparently because that was nuts.
Right.
They got kicked out of the House of Blues. In fact, House of Blues kicked them out.
Steel Panther.
Yeah. They're like, no more of this. No more of
it's
this.
Just debauchery.
This is Las Vegas, House of Blues, and they're like, no, that's too much.
Right.
To give you guys any indication of how off the hook these guys are.
Yeah, Steel Panther's awesome. Check them out if you like 80s.
Yeah,
80s
and all their
hair
songs
bands.
are very 80s themed too.
Right.
They steal a lot of the chords and the music
Right.
from your favorite 80s songs, and they just put their words to them
Right.
a lot of times.
You want to tell the Rock of Ages Vegas story?
Oh, we're to the Rock of
Let's
Ages.
go Rock of Ages.
Shall we go to the Rock of Ages?
Yeah.
All right.
The Vegas one.
The what?
The Vegas
The
show.
Vegas show.
The one.
Which one?
We can do both.
Which Vegas? Okay,
Let's
so
start with the first one.
Okay, so the first Rock of Ages show.
Where Shane was a weenie.
No,
Not that
I
one.
know.
No,
Oh.
Grumpy Cat is the next
Oh,
one.
Grumpy
Yeah.
Cat.
The first one is where we heard about Rock of Ages being a great show. We hadn't seen the movie yet. The movie hadn't been made yet.
Right.
But we heard about it. The girls, when we go to Vegas, the girls go gambling and the guys go see shows. Don't judge.
Yeah.
So we heard of Rock
It used
of
to
Ages.
be just Rock of Ages until it was no longer there.
Right. It's not there anymore, but they travel. So they were just starting out, though, and they were at the Wynn, and they had their own theater. And so we got some cheap-ass tickets to go and see. And so we got up in the mezzanine level.
Yep.
But we had seats right up against the wall. And so we're like, awesome. We get in there, and we sit down, and there's a whole 80s theme in there. They're selling 80s, like, Bartles and James.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I got a up and down a fuzzy navel.
Yeah, fuzzy navel. I mean,
So
total
epic.
80s drinks being sold up and down the aisles and shit. So you get the whole vibe and into it. And so we're sitting at the wall. We got in there early. And the concierge guy comes up and goes, would you like to move up? And our seats were right up against the wall. So nobody's in front of us. So we could see the stage perfect. We knew that we were going to be standing up cheering on during this thing. So we're like, no, we're good. I mean, we got pole position. What are you going to give us that's better, right?
Oh, yeah.
So some people were next to us, and they were up there. And he's like, all right, cool. And so he asks them, and he picks them up, and he moves them all the way down to the fifth row
Right.
on the floor. Fifth row from the stage.
Ooh.
Because we're like midweek, and we didn't get it. We hadn't seen a lot of shows in Vegas at this point in time. So we didn't get that they want people up front. We're like thinking concert. We got pole position in the mezz. There's not many better seats. So we sat there, and the show starts. It goes nuts. We're like looking, and we're like, we should have moved up because there's empty seats.
Duh.
Right.
Right.
Well, we didn't know.
Right.
Right.
Right. And so there's empty seats up front. So we're eyeing these seats and up in the second, third row, something like that.
Yeah.
And nobody's sitting right next to these other folks up there. And we're like, okay, during the show, we're talking about this. So like, there's seats up there and nobody's showing up for them. At intermission, let's check this out, right? And so we're sitting, we watch the show, phenomenal. Intermission, we go get beers, we come back, and we're like, we're just going to walk in like we own the place, sit down like we belong there, and we're going to do this thing, right?
Nice.
And so we get up there. It was third row, I think.
Third row.
And you're like right on stage, eye contact level, right? And we sit next to these people.
Interactive level. Right.
Right.
There.
Right.
And so we get next to these other people that were sitting there the whole time. And we sit down, got our drinks next to us, and they look at us, and they're like looking back at, they're like, you come up from up there? And we're like, yeah.
Mhm.
They're like, cool. And so we knew that we were cool because they weren't going to say shit.
So
right?
that was
so we're
just you
sitting
two,
there.
right?
It was just us two.
So you and Shakes?
Yep.
It was just us two. And so we're sitting there, and so the concert starts, so the play, whatever, starts, more of a concert. And the actors had evidently noticed that those seats were empty
Right.
Oh, nice.
at the thing because the lead guy, he's up there doing his monologue and singing and everything. He looks at us, does a double take, looks back at us, like square in the eyes, points and winks, and then continues on with what he's doing. And we're like, oh, we're going to get so fucked on this
Uh-oh.
deal, right? We're found out this guy, I mean, if the lead guy noticed, then everybody else did. But they didn't say shit.
Nope.
The rest of the time. And we snuck all the way up there. And these seats that we paid for were like $50 maybe.
If that.
If that, $40
Yeah.
for the mez seats. And the seats that we sat in were 300,
300? Yeah. I was going to say.
something like
in the
that.
hundreds.
So we weaseled our way all the way up there, and the whole cast was all in it. Everybody was, when they came up,
Nice.
was like giving us the eyeball and a little,
A little wink
shot.
and a gun
Yeah.
kind of
Hell
thing.
yeah.
The rest of the concert, it was just like,
Shooter.
Yeah.
we're like, now we feel a little self-conscious, right?
Right.
Because everybody's
Oh,
pointing us
yeah.
out on this fucking
That'd
thing.
freak me out.
But it's like, who the fuck cares?
Yeah. And then the next time we were in Vegas, every time we were in Vegas after that, we went to Rock of Ages if
Yep.
we had it because it's a great show. And the second time we went to go see it, and it was damn near sold out because it was a weekend, I think.
Yeah.
Friday or Saturday.
It was a Friday, I think.
Yeah, so all they had was up in the mez, but they were charging, it was like $90 or something.
Oh,
like that.
easily, yeah.
And so I was just kind of playing that, yeah, man, I don't know, it's a little steep. And
Give him the whole grumpy cat attitude.
yeah, I was like, dude.
He had his hands crossed in front of this poor girl at the computer who's trying to help us out.
Like, that's
She was the
just
nicest-
too much money.
She's the nicest little girl, and he was giving her the stare down with the arms crossed, just like
Shaking his head.
Yeah.
Fuck your show. Fuck your show. I
Yeah.
don't even want to see your show.
And then after about 10 minutes, it was probably close to 10 minutes.
Yeah.
She was like, she kind of looks around, see who's around, and she goes, okay, here's what I can do. I can get you second row, $60.
Oh, jeez.
Instantly.
Sold.
Deal.
I was like,
Right.
done.
This is
Done.
a negotiation.
So we saw that whole show this time
Right.
from the second row.
From the second row.
That's awesome.
The trick with that, I was sitting on the end. Seat broke.
Seat broke.
Seat broke halfway through.
Dude, it
I was on
hilarious.
the end. Seat broke halfway through, so I'm sitting at a 45-degree angle, aimed at the goddamn floor. My feet were straight out. I'm basically sitting on the floor the whole time, just looking up. Like, my arms are at my ears. Like,
is that
can somebody switch me
you gotta
seats?
lose weight or
Is
what?
there an empty seat down there?
Dude.
Is there an empty seat behind me? Scope me on a seat because I'm sitting on the goddamn floor.
I was sitting next to him and I heard it break and I saw
Right.
him drop.
It was like boom, boom. Yeah,
Dude, I don't know if I laughed that hard in a long time. It was hilarious.
right. And the angels at the end, when they're walking down the aisles, they're like
Right.
touching people on the shoulders. That's kind of the thing, right? And
Yeah.
so they're touching people on the shoulders. They get to me and they're like, "Oh, yay, a little person showed up." And I'm like, "No, I'm sitting on the fucking floor." And she's laughing because she realizes my seat fucking broke.
Right.
And she's like cracking up, and then all the angels after that are like in on the joke, giggling on their way up on stage. I'm like,
Tapping you on the top of the head as
Right.
they go.
Dude, that shit was too funny.
I'm like,
That was too
yay,
funny.
I'm sitting on the goddamn fucking floor.
Right.
That is pretty freaking epic.
So
A little surprising.
I got one more Rock of Ages story before we get out of here.
All right.
And
And I was supposed to be there.
you were supposed to be
You
there.
were supposed to be there.
God.
So before I tell the story, I will put a disclaimer out that I didn't feel good about it. Okay, I still don't feel good about it.
We set you up.
But here's the deal. We were over
I
at
was
some
prodding
friends'
That
Matt
house.
was
to do this.
Yeah.
You call it embarrassing. I call it genius.
So,
Fucking genius.
so we were over at some friend's house and we were hanging out drinking. And Rock of Ages was in Seattle
In Seattle.
performing, and we really wanted to go see it, but it was coming towards the end of the run.
And the regular price tickets were like $96 a
Oh,
piece.
no, they were
They were
like
more than that.
$300
Oh, that's
a
right.
piece.
Yeah, they were
Yeah,
super
it was
expensive.
It's
it was
ridiculous.
it was almost sold out.
Yeah.
So the only thing that they had open was handicap seating for wheelchair. I jokingly said, because my mom was sick at the time, so she had a wheelchair. I was like, well, I got a wheelchair. And those tickets were only like $35.
Yeah, they
Or
were
something,
stupid
yeah.
cheap.
Yeah. And they were like 12th row or something like that on the end.
Yeah. Yeah, it was 12th row
On the aisle.
$40.
Yeah, and so I jokingly said, well, I got a wheelchair I can use. And that opened up a can of worms. So
Because you open that door, I'm walking through it.
Well, we are, because I prodded the heck out of you to do it.
You were right there.
Yeah. And so we pulled the trigger on the tickets. And it was funny at the time, because we were drinking, having a good time. And then it comes up showtime. And I'm like...
Show day.
And I was like, I can't get the wheelchair because my mom needs it.
Right. Because she legitimately
needed it.
Did. Yeah.
And Matt so happened to... His dad had a wheelchair that he didn't need.
Correct.
That's right.
So Matt says, well, I've got a wheelchair. And
yes.
I instantly said, shit.
Because you were fucked at that point.
Yeah, because now I've got to go through with it. Because the tickets were already bought. I was like, oh my God. And then Chris wasn't able to go.
Right.
Because I was supposed to be the one in the wheelchair.
And then Kevin also wasn't able to go.
Correct.
So now we have... Did we have the 2 extra tickets? And we got rid of one of them, right?
We got rid of one of them. Tyler came along with us.
Yeah, so we managed to... I went and asked our boss. I was like, hey, you want to go see the show? He's like, yeah, hell yeah. And I go, okay, I'm just going to let you know I'm going to be in a wheelchair. He's like, what?
What the fuck?
So I told him the deal. And he laughed about it. He's like, yeah, I'm still in. Not thinking that we were still going to do this.
Right. He thought we were fucking with him because we normally fuck with him.
Right. So...
But you can't pay for ADA and not have an ADA person.
Right. You can't be that guy.
That's even worse.
3 swinging dicks come on through. Yeah, we're sitting here.
Right. So it's day of the show. I drive over to pick Matt up. We throw his dad's wheelchair in the back of the ride. Yeah. We go and meet Tyler. He gets in the car. He's like, you actually have a wheelchair. I was like, yeah, I told you. We weren't joking.
Yeah, we're in ADA.
Yeah. So
somebody's got to be in the wheelchair.
We get up to Seattle, and we have to park probably 6 or 7 blocks away from the venue.
Easily.
So we get out of the car, and I got to
hop. Did you leave late?
No,
but just parking in Seattle.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah, so we get up there, we park in the parking garage, get the wheelchair out. I sit in the wheelchair, and I'm like, there's a blanket in the back of the car. So
you need that. Thank God.
I was like...
That was luck.
I've seen people in wheelchairs with blankets on their legs, so if I'm going to do this, I got to make it look legit. Still, feel like an asshole. So I throw this blanket over my legs and get in the wheelchair. So Matt's got to push me through the streets of Seattle in this wheelchair.
Oh, Jesus.
I came to learn that Matt is the worst wheelchair driver I've ever seen in my life. Like, he's just mobbing around with me in that thing like we're the only ones on the street. He's almost running into people's ankles, their heels.
Oh,
so
dang.
I'm grabbing the wheels, hitting the brakes,
I was going to say, man, you got control.
Yeah. I don't know how many times I had to stop him from hitting somebody. And he also dumped me in the street in the intersection.
I was going to say, what about all the bumps and the hills and stuff?
Yeah, well, just trying to go, over the ADA ramps and stuff on
the
the intersections. The way the feet on the wheelchair were is that it would, hit it. Because they weren't
just stop.
They weren't. Yeah, so he would hit it and then almost dump. I'm almost fly out of it, 3 times.
Never underestimate the power of the handicap.
Oh man, yeah. Oh god, it was brutal. Like, I don't know if I've ever felt like such a piece of shit before. Because I'm like, I'm not making fun of anybody.
True.
Yeah.
No, it's true.
Yeah,
but it's funny after the fact. Though.
Right. And I'm just like, oh my god, this is the worst. So, but everybody was super nice. People would smile at me and wave at me and say hi and shit. And
they wouldn't do that normally.
Right. And so we get into the venue and, they see that I'm in a wheelchair. So they kind of take us over to the side. And the lady that takes us down to the seats asked if I wanted to transfer. And I don't know what that means. Apparently that means, do you want to transfer over to a seat? Right. Or do you want us to take the seat out and set the wheelchair there? So I was like, let's just take the seat out. So they walk us down there, and a guy literally picks the seat up, takes it out of the way, and sets it off to the side against the wall. So now I'm sitting on the end of this aisle in a wheelchair, and all I'm doing is cheering with my arms because I can't stand up like everybody else.
Nope.
And Matt and Tyler had to
should have wore a boot, bro.
Yeah, whatever.
Because then you beers. We got your beers.
Then you could have been ADA and stand up.
Nah, man. If I get into a character, I'm doing the character. Bro.
Nah, that's true.
He had the whole thing going on. and he was so proud of this goddamn blanket because he's like, "This is what people in wheelchairs wear." And so he wore that blanket even though it was blistering hot in there.
Yeah.
Well, he kind of had
like,
to. His legs aren't skinny enough to play it off.
You don't have to have skinny legs to be in a wheelchair.
And you also don't need a
true.
blanket if
You
you're in a
also
wheelchair.
don't need a blanket, but
Right.
I thought it was a good idea at the time. Looking back, yeah, maybe not so much. But
And
I thought it was a
remember-
good idea. At the time.
Whatever.
And remember when
It
they
probably
said
was.
about the transfer thing, they ripped that fucking chair out of the goddamn
Yeah, the guy
ground.
just pulled the chair out.
He's like, "Oh, okay." Wanders down there, da da da. And all of a sudden he tips down. There's people sitting around, and then he just like rips the fuck out of his chair and throws it up against the wall. There you go.
Yeah, so
And everybody's looking. What? Oh, here's the wheelchair guy coming down the aisle.
so Matt and Tyler had to go get my drinks because obviously I couldn't go get them.
Right.
I had to pee pretty much 15 minutes into the show, so I was almost drowning the whole time.
It's hard to enjoy a show like that.
Yeah, and so we go through the whole show, and towards the end, everybody stands up and they're singing. Was it "Don't Stop Believing"?
Of course,
the
that's
last
a
song.
crescendo.
And I'm just sitting there with my arms up in the air, waving them around and clapping. And I was like, God, I can't see because everybody around me standing up.
Right.
So I'm just trying to push myself up as far as I can to see anything.
Yeah.
And so the show's over, and I tell Matt, I was like, dude, I gotta pee like a mofo. So Matt wheels me into the bathroom. And this place is old. Was it the Moore Theater?
At the Moore, yeah. And this place has got to be 50, 60 years old.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
it's an old theater.
Yeah, so we go into the bathroom. He pushes me to the handicap stall.
Oh, God.
It's the smallest handicap stall I've ever seen in my life. So he wheels me in there, and there's no room for anything else. He pushed me in, feet first. So I couldn't even
Because
make
there's
it
no
look
room
like
to
I
turn
was-
around.
Right. So I couldn't even transfer over to the toilet or anything. So I was like, you know what, screw this. So he pushed me in. I had to stand up. I had to step over the toilet just to get there to where I can
Jesus.
pee.
And I'm standing in front of the door while he's doing this, right? And so he's knocking around. You hear the chair clanking around, and you see the walls, those makeshift walls, and they're flexing a little bit. And guys are coming in peeing and stuff, and I'm like walking around like.
And I could hear Matt giggling out there from
Right.
all the noise I'm
It
making.
looks like all kinds of holy hell is going on behind me, and this thing is just shaking and everything.
Yeah, so I finally got to pee, so I get back in the chair, and I'm like, okay, Matt.
Right. He yells, "Okay, Matt," and there's a bunch of people in there. All right. It's like,
Oh,
going
yeah.
against the
Gets me out.
door.
And I told him, I was like, dude, you're not pushing me back. You're going to dump me in the street. So Tyler pushed me all the way back, and it sucked for him because that was the uphill
Yeah.
Oh.
going back to the parking garage. He
Yeah.
had to push me uphill. So we get back to the car. I get out. We put the wheelchair in the back. I get in the car, and before we leave, I just kind of sit there, and I'm like, I feel like such an asshole. I was like, this is the absolute worst.
Because we paid for, 4 seats, what should have been almost 1 seat at that show.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
It was ridiculous, the
guaranteed.
difference.
Probably half.
Yeah.
Half of what one
I
seat
mean,
would be.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, though.
Ridiculous.
Do you appreciate what ADA people go through
Oh,
when
dude.
they can't see shit now?
Oh, man, those...
See,
I got to give it up to them, man.
You
They
learned
go
a
through
lesson.
lot. I did.
Right.
I did.
But to
And
be
I
fair,
also won't do it again.
it was
oh,
it was
yeah.
last minute, so I gave him free chance at getting those seats, and they were still available. It wasn't like we got them a month out. We
Yeah,
got them
you
like...
did-
It was literally like a week before the
Yeah,
show.
yeah, you did wait till the
So
last
they were
second.
available
Yeah.
seats, and I didn't feel
Right.
that
I'll tell
bad
you
about
what, though,
taking them because they probably would have been empty seats.
Your
Right.
experience does make me more aware, though, of those around me.
Right.
So now I'm going to be paying attention to people that
Oh, yeah.
that are handicapped around me.
look for the
because-
asshole faking that he's handicapped to
Yeah.
get cheap seats
Well,
at the Rock of Ages show.
I look at it this way, though. I mean, I don't want to be the one standing in front of you.
Right.
And then now I'm going to be paying more attention
Well,
to
you
that.
got free drinks out of the thing. We
you
made
know,
Tyler
yeah.
pay for most of them.
Right.
I mean,
right.
fuck, why not?
Yeah.
It's your
So-
going to hell
That
moment.
is pretty funny that your boss went with you, though. Too.
Right.
It was pretty cool.
Well, he's not my boss now, so I don't got to
Right.
worry about it.
Right.
That is pretty funny. Though.
And you made your boss push you around Seattle
Right?
in a
Right.
wheelchair that you
Yeah.
didn't need.
Take that, you son of a bitch.
So he's culpable. Tyler, you're in hell right next to us.
Right.
I got you a seat warmed up. It's got wheels.
Yeah.
Oh man,
So, yeah, that's my Rock of Ages story.
dude, now that
That was
is
awesome.
epic.
That was awesome.
It
That
was
was
a
an
good
awesome.
time.
That is beyond epic.
For those of you who love deals and coupon glitches. That was the ultimate coupon glitch. I dare you to message us back. Let us know what your best coupon glitch scam deal was to get into something cheap, because I dare you to top that. Or
just with your best concert story. Heck, we'll talk about it.
Best
we want to hear what other people have going on.
I do want to hear about that. But if you got a good one where you scam the system for something, I kind of want to hear that too, because we've thrown down the gauntlet.
Oh,
boom,
yeah.
There you go. Do better than that.
Heck yeah.
Do better than that, because I don't care who you are. That's pretty fucking good right there. We pulled off a good one there.
Yeah.
We had everybody in that place fucking... And you were so embarrassed in that goddamn chair.
Yeah. But everybody was so nice.
Everybody was so nice. Like you were mentally deficient or something. It's like your legs just don't work. His brain works fine. You don't have to talk to him slow.
Right. Yeah. Oh, man, it was...
That was the best.
Yeah, that was a good story to end on. I think it's time to get up out of here. So just
I agree.
Yeah.
That was... Fuck you if you can top that. Fine. Anyway, so that's probably all we got for this episode, right? We're running a little long.
Yeah. So thank you, everyone that is still sticking with us. Hope you're enjoying it. I think we got some good things coming up.
We're getting better.
Some big things.
Oh yeah,
we're getting better. Come along with us. You say you were there at the ground, at the roots,
and we got some great stuff coming for the future.
Some good stuff, some good collaborations with some good people.
We'll post more on the grams and the Facebook stuff.
Maybe some merchandise coming soon.
We should have some merch coming here pretty soon.
You're teasing the merchandise. I like it. I like it.
Yeah. So I guess.
Yeah.
Next time, beers are on me.
Beers are on you next time. Watch for that.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Have a good one.